Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Illustrator Jones once again. Yes, and it's a very special episode. Well, it's not really. I've been watching a lot of movies. And recently I've watched The Hound of the Baskervilles. With Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. And I really enjoyed it, and it inspired me to do this drawing. I did do one of these kind of drawings in my sketchbook years ago. If you want to see that, it's probably in one of my sketchbook tours, one of the very first 2 videos I ever did on YouTube. And yeah, so I've drawn the Hound of the Baskervilles story, when they discover where the Hound is, the lair of the Hound. So that's what I've drawn. It's I just started with Sherlock, gave him some shoes, trying to keep him looking smart. I don't know what I'm going on about. I have no idea. Oh dear me, I'm tired, I'm worn out. My mum and dad have just visited, so I'm knackered now. But we did have a laugh. We did have a laugh. And that's the main thing, innit? If your mum and dad come to visit, give them a laugh. My mum's very not well. She's extremely ill. Sad to say. And it's lovely if they can come around and all they do is giggle and laugh, and it makes everything just a little bit, more pleasant. But hence, I'm feeling a little bit out of it. But, as in, not prepared as what I'm going to... I'm never prepare what I'm going to say. I never, ever write down anything or even think about what I'm going to say. It just comes out of me like verbal diarrhea. Now, Gabriel has sent me a drawing that he's done, so I will show that later on in the video, because I've completely forgotten about it. And I'm glad you got the drawings. I'm glad they got to you safely. There were 2 in there, weren't there? I did put them both in there, the black and white and the colour. So, I hope so. But yeah, it's going really well. No, it's not. It's going terribly, because I have no idea what I'm going to say. And why is the camera so close up to my chops? You don't see me that close. Ew. Horrible. Put you off your dinner. But yeah, so I don't know. I know I want him slipping in the mound from the Hound of the Baskervilles, which is very funny. I don't know where that comes from. I've heard it somewhere and I can't think where it comes from. But you'll see the punchline later on at the end of the video. Excuse-moi. That piece of malt loaf has come back to haunt me. Oh dear me. That came out. That was mean in business, that were. This is probably why my viewership has gone down considerably, per video. I'm not watching that pig burp on the screen. Well, makes me laugh. But yeah. Ooh, what was that peak? Oh, that was probably the burp. I'm looking at a sound form as a recording. Across the screen there's a sound form appearing, and there's a big black mark, blue mark. That's where I burped. I made a big burp, and it made a big mark on the screen. So yes. So I wanted to draw the lair of the Hound. So I wanted to draw lots of skulls and bodies and bits of bone. Because in the movie, The Hound of the Baskervilles, which is a Hammer horror film made by Hammer, one with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in, they were disappointed by the dog, because you couldn't show much of it. You couldn't show much of the dog because it was a young Great Dane, which wasn't very big. It was big enough, So they stuck a mask over it, you know, to make it look more frightening. I thought it was quite scary, and yeah, I thought it was very good, very exciting film. They are so good. I watched The Scars of Dracula last night. Christopher Lee movie. That's the one where he gets struck by lightning, you know, set on fire by lightning. Yeah. By the 5th film, which I think that is the 5th one in the series of Christopher Lee ones, you know, they kind of, how do we get rid of him this time? How do we get him back to life this time? But I still like him because I used to watch them when I was a kid. Now this was very, very difficult, the dog. I don't know why I've drawn so many dogs before. But those legs always seem to throw me a curveball. Now I based this on our new dog called Milo, whom you have met in previous videos. I'll give him little folded ears. He's been very naughty today, by the way. He's been barking his head off in the garden, so you keep telling him off. Yeah, it came out alright. It was just his front legs and the back legs. They're really wrong there, the way I've done it there. It's awful. So I think it's this one where you'll notice I'll get my phone out and get a picture of a Great Dane just standing there like that, you know, as normal, just to try and get the legs and the posture reasonably right. I'm not saying it's anywhere near correct, because that way it looks like he's, I don't know, looks like his back's broken. There we go, look, there's the phone. Fantastic little tip this. Get your phone back, because everybody's got phones nowadays. Put in Google what you want, or whatever, you know. Hound of the Baskervilles, or Great Dane, and up it came, and I scrolled through some of the images and found one that's, you know, roughly like it, just to give me the idea where those... There he is. Look, can you see him up in the left hand corner? You won't see that now because my video is going to be there. But yeah, there you go. Just so it looks reasonably correct, you know. And yeah, it was all right. I was quite happy with it. Don't expect perfection from your drawings. Don't be scared to try. Luck Mum No Computer, or Luck Mum No Engine, as a guy on YouTube. He does a lot of synthesizer builds, does a lot of electronics, and now he's starting to do mechanical stuff with cars and things. I enjoy both of his, but he always says at the end of his videos, don't be afraid to try, which I think is a wonderful bit of advice. Same principle with drawing. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to have a go. It doesn't work, try again. Now, I've done some drawings in my sketchbook, which I got an idea. The idea came from, or this method came from, Bill Making Stuff, where on his page he cuts it up into, I think it's about 9 little squares. So if you can imagine either an A4 or A5, you know, segregated into little 9 squares, and I wanted to draw Dracula's castle. Well, obviously, why? So I started drawing different versions of Dracula's castle, and the first one, it's all right, but you know, your imagination starts getting really using it a lot by the last one. You know, you think, oh my goodness me, where did that come from? And then Igor, which I've called Kilgar, I've done the same on the other side. I had 9 different versions of him, which I'm hoping to do as a pen and ink drawing in the next video. I don't know if I will or not, but I will show you on a short video maybe the ideas I've come up with, and ask you, my lovely subscribers, and anybody else who's watching, to choose which one you prefer, or to vote for it. If I can do that, I'll try and do that, and I'll show you the drawings as well. Getting back to the Hound of the Baskervilles. I put in Watson in the background, and obviously a little pipe. He's been chucked in the air because he's trying to get away, but he's slipping on the dirty big turd. And I don't mean the third one, I mean there's only one there. Oh no, there's two actually. Here we go. This is me thinking I'm going to put this in as like a title of a book, you know. The Mound from the Hound of the Baskervilles. But later on, I've thought of something that Sherlock Holmes could actually say. And unfortunately, I also thought of the reply that Watson could, you know, reply. So, yeah, you'll see that later. Now, my defence in the end of this picture is that if Albert Uderzo and René Goscinny could put little pictures of skulls and angry fists and lightning bolts instead of swear words in asterisks, surely that's okay for me to do. So that's what I've done. I don't like swearing. Try not to do it myself. I hit my thumb. I cut my thumb the other day with a butter knife. How did I cut myself? It was a serrated one, but with a butter knife I cut myself. This really doesn't bode well for the rest of my life, I think. It's just going to get worse. Anyway, where was I? What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Where was I going with the butter knife thing before I distracted myself by my own finger? Oh, for goodness sake. Lost me train of thought now. Yep, it's completely gone. I have just had what is commonly known as a brain fart. I can't think what I was going to say. Oh, that's annoying. Never mind. Yeah, I cut myself. I was cutting the potato open to put butter in it, and it went, only, as my son keeps on saying, only Daddy can do silly things like that, you know. Starting to come true, though. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm just checking over here to make sure everything's recording. You better be recording. So, yeah. So inking now, which I've completely missed the inking bit. I'm babbling on about things and I completely missed the inking. But you might have heard it, so it's inking. Now, I was quite happy with the poses of the animal, and in hindsight I should have got him, you know, like pouncing, you know, like a dog when he plays, that kind of thing. But then it would have been difficult to get his head in as well as Sherlock Holmes in as well, so his head had to be up and out of the way. Normally I draw instantly what I see in my head. It's like, that's the one I go with. I never sit and draw and think, oh, can I make that composition better? Because very rarely I can make it any better. Don't know what that says. I usually go with my gut instinct and go with the first. Sometimes I don't. I don't say I do that all the time. You know, sometimes I'll just chuck it and start again. But that's normally in the pencil idea. Or I do a lot of rubbing out. There you go. I'll do a lot of rubbing out and reworking of a drawing, you know. As in, but not trying to redo the whole thing in another way. You can't do that though. I know an artist, Graham Howells his name is, and he works very hard on his composition work is brilliant. It's very, very good. It kind of gets me bored if I do that too much. I like to go with the flow. I like to go with basically the first idea that pops into my head, or whatever comes out of my pencil. Especially if it's a scribble sketch. So if you notice, I started with Sherlock because I knew I wanted him running and slipping in poo. And I knew I wanted the dog behind him, so I kind of, that's how I went. Start at the beginning and work towards the end. Not a lot going on up in here. You see, it's if you my brain, if you think of my brain as a tumbleweed. See, in those movies where you see it float across the camera shot, you know, in a western, that's my brain. Or little monkeys going. But that's more Homer Simpson world, isn't it? That is. So I give him a huge lolloping tongue, which lollops out of his mouth, and lots of drool. What you'll see later is not drool. It's gore. Yeah. So it's going all right. It's all right. It's okay. Now, yeah. Here is the drawing that this chap Gabriel sent me. So thank you ever so much for that. That's he's done ever so well, hasn't he? I think he did that brilliantly. It looks suspiciously like a monster to me, which I think is brilliant. If that's what you're drawing, it's fantastic. Just keep going. Don't give up drawing. I can remember now where I've said that because I gotta put the picture in. Yeah. So I think I've sped this. I now put the moon in. Do I? No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Oh no! I put the moon in around the dog's head initially, but I changed that later on. Now I've actually been to. Is it Dartmoor? I think it is Dartmoor, isn't it? Where the story is based. It's a very pretty place actually, although it could be desolate, you know, in the wind and the rain. It's like anywhere we went to. A beautiful place called Newgale up in Pembrokeshire. We went on holiday up there for a week. Last week, I think it was. Yeah, last week or the week before, and it pedalled it down for most of the time, and it was as miserable as sin up there. And it's the most beautiful place. And then one day the sun came out, and we decided to go to another place called White Sands in Pembrokeshire. Never been there. My mum and dad have never been there. So we rolled up to this beach, and I used to think, I still think Newgale is beautiful, but White Sands, oh my word, it was gorgeous, beautiful. Oh, just a gorgeous beach, and massive beach. Oh my goodness, what's that on the screen? No, go away. Don't know what that is. What was that then that popped up? Don't know what that was. A stupid advert popped up on the screen. I'll kill it for doing that. Hate that unsolicited adverts popping up like that. Anyway. So trying to draw a little bit of shading underneath the dog on the floor, the ground, his legs, using cross-hatching, but not too much. I'm trying to keep the cross-hatching to a minimum. Oh dear, what is wrong with me? Oh, I don't know. There's another one of those lines. Yes. Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. So, how is everybody? I hope you're all well and enjoying your drawing. I thought, I hope the videos are inspiring you to have a go at drawing.
It's time for colour, everybody. It's colour time.
Colour. Yeah, here we go with the colour. He's rubbing out that circle, and now he's adding. I'm adding yellow for the moon because I want this to be a nighttime scene. Now you might be thinking, moon's not yellow, Chris, and you'd be right, it's not. But once I put the blue on, and I use quite a dark blue, I'll show you what happens in a minute. You'll see. It does look like the sun at the moment, doesn't it? but I wanted it to be in the night, so it's a little bit more dramatic lighting. I use the hairdryer a lot on this one. I did wrinkle up the paper on this. So if you notice on the left hand screen down the bottom, I've got a video now that you can see me mixing the colours. And then above that is like a side shot of me working. Don't know if that makes it more interesting. It's more interesting than just looking at my ugly mug. I thought to myself, well, you know, you already see me talking. But why the heck would you want to see me again? So I thought to myself, I'll film the mixing because I wanted to show you how I mix and how I get the colours together. So I thought that'd be a good little bit of a video, and then a side view of a different angle of doing the work. And now I was adding the blue look. Now it does turn green once you put blue over yellow. But you'll see in a minute what I do. Now I was worried about this. I didn't know how to do it really. I'm winging it because I'm thinking to myself, I want the dog to stand out, so that denotes a dark sky behind. Yeah, so that's what I went with. That was my intuition kind of idea, my first idea. That's what I'm going to go with. But I was second guessing myself. I'd virtually convinced myself, nearly convinced myself that I couldn't do it. So I'm adding not charcoal. Is it charcoal white? It is. It's white charcoal pencil, and then smudging it with my finger. And look what it does. Gives it a certain radiance, a brightness, you know. And that green then is almost pushed backwards. So going to a very dark blue now. My favourite blue, which is phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. Love that blue. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I can't go too dark with the sky because the dog is going to be painted with, you know, I don't know what the colours are. If anybody knows, can you tell me? I could look myself, but I'm too lazy. I've got two versions of black. I've got a warm black, which is a grey, basically, a warm, dark black colour. And I've got a cool one. I don't know, one of them's called Payne's Grey, I think. But I've only just discovered this. Didn't realise there was two different types. So I try to utilise the warm grey on the dog so that he comes forward. But I do add some shadow to him with the cooler grey to denote the shadow underneath him. Because I couldn't go and use blue for the shadows on the dog or on anybody really, because there's lots of blue in the background already. So I use the greys, the various greys, to denote shadow. What's he doing? Yeah, continuously hair drying it. Make sure it's completely dry before you start any more work. Number one, your hand can smudge bits that are wet and you can ruin the nice white bits you want to keep clean. Number two, you can oversaturate the paint and the paper, and the paper can start to come apart if you're not careful. Here comes the gore. Bits of gore. Now, I was going to call him Milo, but I've called him Kill. Dr. Kill. And yeah, I did put a lot of blood and snot on the floor initially. Because there would be, wouldn't there? You know, you didn't pick those bones clean. Not all of them anyway. Big mistake here using this brown on this rock. It was like, oh, what have I done? Because the poo's got to be very brown. So I keep on going over it with darker, you know, greys and things. Watercolour, I'm scared of watercolours, I've got to admit. I'm terrified of them. Because they're so unpredictable. But I love doing it because it's so, I don't know, it's just a nice way of colouring in. And if I keep telling myself, trust a method. What, you've done it before, it'll be fine. 9 times out of 10 it is, it's alright. But yeah, so it's just different colours of brown now, different, you know, making it multi-layered. Little bits in shade, bits not in shade. But I'm pleased with that moon now, because you've done the background all blue and shadowy blues, you realise, oh yeah, that's a night time. Pouring all the pink bits in for the dogs, gums and things. And that's the warm grey I'm using straight away. Lovely, that. Nice. Adding all that on. Now when a watercolour dries, it dries 30% lighter. So if it goes on too dark at the beginning, don't panic. And now I'm adding the cooler black grey for shadows for the dog. Which did work. So that's a new thing for me, that was. Utilising the two different blacks, you know, the bluey one and the warmer one. By warmer I mean it's probably got more yellow and red in it. The cooler one's got blue in it. Now in the front, in the foreground, I wanted the skulls to be as if they're in shadow, so the light looks like it's landing on top of the characters. I did imagine some sort of cave above it, you know, behind, which you can't see. And this was a worry for me, is what to colour his clothes. Now, I've not put any green really in the drawing, a little bit below, which is a very bluey green. So I used, what's it called? Oh, I forgot the green, you know, the sea green one. Aqua green, I don't know what it's called now. Emerald green. Now I find that mixing emerald green with different yellows gives you really vibrant greens, instead of using the ready mixed sap green and the other one, I forgot what it's called now. Yeah. Emerald green mixed with maybe lemon yellow, processed yellow, or Indian yellow, gives you all sorts of different vibrant greens, which which is very nice. And if you want a more woody green, you add more red to it, which I really was pleased with the colour of his suit. So on his trousers I just added a bit more emerald green to it, just so that it varied the green colour. Ooh, it's a bit of a blur there. What was that about? Adding the Posca now. So have I done? Yes, I've done Watson's suit. I just used a warm grey for Watson's suit, and bits of blue and bits of brown, and maybe some shadows. So I added some stars. Didn't go too nuts with the stars, and adding some highlights now. It's coming together. We're nearly there, we're not too far away. My dad would, you know, oh dear, you can't draw things like that, could I? Especially, oh, terrible. But it's funny. So yeah, all the little highlights and spittle hanging from his mouth. Drool, drool, drool. Can't say the word drool. Drool. I sound like the what's he called out of Ghostbusters then, didn't I? Zool.
Hello, computer.
Yes, it's hello, computer. It's computer time. Now, I did do a little bit of tweaking in the computer before I remembered to press record. So I'd put the text in, but I wanted the dog, the hound, to growl. So I gave him a grrr. And then, you know, Watson, I think I found the mound from the Hound of the Baskervilles. Kind of, you know, found, mound, hound. There we go. And then he goes, no poo, Sherlock. And that was the wee jokey. That was the wee jokey. It was. Now I'm wondering, here we go. We're coming up to the end of the video. So adding some movement lines now with the computer. And basically that's it. That's the drawing finished. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed this. It was a change from the other drawings. I hope you like it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And here come the final results. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you very, very much. I will see you all next time. Stay safe and keep drawing. Ta-ra, everybody! It's not finishing. Why is it not finishing? Any minute now.